Hello viewers, welcome to Civil Learning Online, and today in this video I will be discussing about Canni's rotation method. In this method we are asked to find a moment at A, B, C and D, which is clearly shown in this diagram, and we are asked to analyze the frame which is literally survey frame having the vertical loading of 15 kN at a span 6 meter from support B. And guys, you need to check out the playlist in which I have discussed about different types of beams as well as frame. And before watching this video, first you need to learn those methods, and and then later, after watching those video, you need to watch this method, this solution of this literally survey frame, because it is a little bit different from those questions. So without any further delay, let's get started. So guys, if we discuss about the step 1, then in step 1 we will be calculating the fixed in moment, and for fixed in moment there are some formulas for the different loading condition. Here as you can see, the 15 kilonewton is lying acting on the span BC away from the center. So in that case we will be using we have the different formula, and if it were at the center of this span BC, then it has different formula, and if the span BC or any span of this frame would have loaded with UDL, then it has separate formula. So let us have a look what are the different types of formula for the different loading condition. So guys, these are the formula. If our span is loaded with UDL, then we use the formula minus plus WL square by 12. If our beam, or sorry, span is loaded with unsymmetrically loaded, that is here 15 kN is acting away from the center of span BC, in that case we will be using minus WAB square by L square for MBC, and similarly WA square B by L square for span CB, and this is going to be our A and this is our B. And if our span is loaded with point load at the mid span, then we will be using the formula minus plus WL by 8. Minus means for from left to right, and plus for right to left of span. So guys, let us write down step 1 and calculate the fixed in moment. So guys, have a look to this step. Here it is step 1, calculation of fixed in moment. Now guys, see here, in span AB there is no loading, and in span CD there is no loading, means the loading are absent, means so the fixed in moment for MAB and MBA will be 0. Similarly, the loading for the span CD and moment for the span CD and DC will be equals to 0. So we can write here MAB and provide cap here equals to MBA equals to MCD equals to MDC equals to 0. Due to the absence of loading, the moment will be 0 on these points. Now guys, if we consider span BC, so MBC, what I said, left to right. So while finding the moment from left to right, we take negative sign. So MBC will be equals to minus WAB square by L square. So put down the value of W, and we have W equals to 15 kilonewton. So 15 times A means 6 meter times B square means 2 square, which will be equals to 4 divided by L square, and the whole span is 8 meter, so L square means 64. And from here on solving this, we will get the value of fixed in moment at B, which will be equals to minus 5.62 kilonewton. Similarly, if we calculate the moment at fixed in moment at point C, then it will be represented as MCB cap positive W A square B upon L square, and which will be positive 15, and A square means 6 square, so 36 times 2 by L square means 64, and and on solving this we will get the final answer, which is 16.87, final answer for the fixed moment. Now let us move toward in step 2, and in step 2 we will be calculating the rotation factor, which is a necessary step for the Canni's rotation method, and it is similar in the solution of each and every type of beams as well as frames. Now guys, here is the table, and you need to draw the similar table for solution of each and every type of beams as well as frames while calculating the rotation factor. And our first column we will be writing joints. Here the joints represents the intermediate support, and in this frame the intermediate support are going to be B and C, while A and D are our end supports. So our joint is B and C, so let us write it down here, B and C. Now guys, after uh, after filling the joints, we have second column in which we will write down spans, and here span represents the span connected to the joints. So with if we consider joint B, then with joint B there are two spans, BA and BC. So write it down here, BA and BC. Similarly with joint C we have two spans, CB and CD. So write down here, CB, CD. Now see here guys, we have the moment of inertia which is uniform for each and every spans. So what we need to do is, in next step we will be calculating the stiffness factor, which is represented by K. And guys, and there are formula for finding the stiffness factor. If our fixed support is at the end, then we use the formula I upon L. If the hinge support is at the intermediate position, then we use I upon L. But if the hinge support is at the end of the beam or frame, then we use 3 by 4 I by L. If what I said, if hinge support is at the end, then we use 3 by 4 I upon L. Similarly, if the fixed support is at the end and the hinge support is at the intermediate position, then we use I upon L. So guys, here if we consider span BA, from B to A, fixed support is at the end, so here K will be I upon L, and here I is uniform and L is 4 meter, so we will have K equals to I upon 4. Similarly, for span BC we have hinge support at C, which is at intermediate position, so again we will have here I upon L, and I upon L will be equals to I upon 8 meter. Similarly, for span CB, means C to B. Now see here, what type of support is at B? It is hinge support, which is at intermediate position, it is not at end, so again it will be I upon L, and the value of K will be I upon 8. Similarly for CD, D is fixed support which is at the end, again we will have I upon L, means I upon L, span is 4 meter. Now after calculating the value of K, we need to find summation K, and for summation K what we need to do is just add this value I upon 4 and I upon 8. Let me show you how to add the value. Here it is I upon 4, means 1 by 4 plus this is I upon 8, 1 by 8. We get 3 by 8, means summation K will be 3I by 8. Now add these two value, at this value are same, so again we will get here summation K value will be equals to 3I by 8. Now after doing this we need to find a distribution factor. Up to here, it is the first and second step is going to be similar to the moment distribution method, and you will have the link of those video in the description. And here we need to calculate the distribution factor, and if any of you guys had studied the distribution factor, sorry, moment distribution method, then you have the idea how to find the distribution factor. And let me tell you, if you don't know, then distribution factor equals to k upon summation k, means we need to divide this value by this value. Then let us see how this is done. Here it is 1 by 4, so 1 upon 4. Now it is 3 by 8, so multiply by 8 by 3. Here it is reciprocal, means let me show you how it is done. 1 by 4 by 3 by 8. So we can write it as 1 by 4 times 8 by 3, and this is what I have done here. Then we will get here distribution factor equals to 2 by 3. Similarly, if we divide 1 by 8 by 8 by 3, then it will become 1 by 3, and here again 1 by 3 on dividing 1 by 8 by 3 by 8, and similarly the value will be repeated. So now after finding the distribution factor, we need to find the rotation factor. So for rotation factor, we need to use a formula which is minus 1 by 2 times k upon summation k, means we need to multiply the value of distribution factor by minus 1 by 2. So on multiplying this 2 by 3 by minus 1 by 2, we will get minus 1 by 3. Similarly, on multiplying 1 by 3 by minus 1 by 2, we will get minus 1 by 6. Similarly, here also minus 1 by 6 and minus 1 by 3. So guys, up to step 2, you will need to do the similar step for the solution of each and every type of frame as well as the beams, but we need to add one more step for the solution of sway frames having vertical or sidewise loading. So let us move toward step 3. So guys, in step 3 we need to calculate the displacement factor. This is the additional step for the analysis of the sway vertical loading, and here the vertical member, and here we have two vertical member A, B and CD or DC. It will be okay, you can write anything. So let us write down the vertical member, that is A, B and DC. So this is our first column. In second column we need to calculate the stiffness factor K, and for K we need to again use the formula, and here K will be I upon L, so I upon 4. Similarly, here DC will be also I upon 4. You can see here. Now we need to calculate the summation K, and for calculating the summation K, we need to add these two value. On adding these two value, we will get I upon 2. If we add I up by 4 plus I by 4, it will get 2 by 4. So divide 4 by 2, then it will be 1 by 2. Now after calculating the summation K, we need to calculate the displacement factor, and for calculating the displacement factor, what we have a formula, means which says minus 3 by 4 times K by summation K. So first find K by summation K, means divide 1 by 4 by 1 by 2, means 1 by 4 times 2, it will be 1 by 2. So multiply from, for AB we will have displacement factor equals to minus 3 by 4 times 1 by 2, then total it will be equals to minus 3 by 8. Here displacement factor will be minus 3 by 2. So multiply minus 3 by 2 and K upon summation K, which will be equals to 1 by 2, then it will get minus 3 by 4. Similarly, if we calculate the displacement factor for span DC, then it will again be minus 3 by 2 times k by summation k, then k 1 by 4 divided by 1 by 2, means 1 by 4 times 2, 1 by 4 times 2 will get 1 by 2, so it will be minus 3 by 4. And this was our displacement factor for this numerical. Now we will be moving toward step 4. Let me complete this table. And guys, in step 4 we will be drawing a reference frame, removing the loads and spans. Let me show you how to draw this. Here I have drawn the reference frame. Now put down the value as I am showing you here. We have calculated the fixed moment of span BC as minus 5.62 kilonewton, the moment of span CB as positive 16.87 kilonewton. Similarly, the moment of span BA is 0, and the moment of span CD is also 0. Similarly, moment at span BA is also 0. Moment means fixed in moment here. Now write down the rotation factor which we have calculated, as the rotation factor for span BC is minus 1 by 6. Similarly, rotation factor for BA is minus 1 by 3, and the rotation factor for CB is minus 1 by 6. Rotation factor for CD is minus 1 by 3. Now after writing down the rotation factor, we need to write down the displacement factor which we have calculated for the vertical member as minus 3 by 4. Similarly, displacement factor for span CD is also minus 3 by 4. Now after this displacement factor, we need to move toward the step 5, and in step 5 we will be using this rotation distribution factor as well as rotation factor to find the moments at its points. Redraw the table of this pattern, and we will be using this reference frame for finding the values of the final moment. Now guys, what you need to do is you need to watch this step very carefully, because this is the core of this method. And if you are able to solve up to step 5, then step 6 is not that much difficult. It is very easy, and the step 6 is based upon the step 5. So you need to be concentrated while I am finding the solution of the solving this step 5. So in step 5, what we need to do is we need to add these two value. This is the value of the fixed moment for span BA, and this value is the fixed moment of span BC at point B. So add these two value. On adding this, we will get minus 5.62 kilonewton. Now add these two numbers, 16.87 plus 0, then it will be equals to plus 16.87. Now after filling this central portion, what we need to do is multiply 5.62 by 1 by 6. So on multiplying 5.62 times 1 by 6, we get 0.936. We can write it as 0.94 doing round off, so it will be 0.94. and guys, minus and minus when multiplied will get positive, so plus 0.94. Again multiply this 16.87, sorry, multiply this 5.62 with 1 by 3. Let me show you. 5.62 times 1 by 3, we get 1.87. so write it down here, 1.87, and this minus times minus will become plus. Now guys, add this 0.94 to 16.87. these both are a positive sign, so this both will be added. So 0.94 plus 16.87, and the total will be 17.81. now multiply this 17.81 with 1 by 6, means multiplied by 1 by 6, we get 2.96. so write it here, 2.96. now guys, these two are a positive, and multiplying with this negative factor it will get negative sign. And again add 0.94 plus 16.87, and we get 17.81, and again multiply this with 1 by 3. so multiply by 1 by 3, we get 5.93, and on round off we get 5.94, and due to this negative factor it will take negative sign. And here first cycle is completed. Now we need to move to for the second cycle, and for second cycle we need to do one more thing. This is positive and this is negative, so on add these two number first. So we add 0.94 minus, this is negative, positive negative will take negative sign, 2.96. We have minus 2.02. Now minus 2.02 is multiplied with the factor minus 3 by 4, then minus and minus will get positive, so multiply this by 3 by 4, we get 1.51. So guys, now we need to provide the displacement factor also, which is, we have multiplied that value difference of these two number, we have multiplied the difference of these two number with the displacement factor, and we get 1.515, which we can be written as 1.52. so positive 1.52. here also same value, because the factor on both the vertical member are same, so it will again become 1.52. now let's get ready for the second cycle. This was our first cycle. Now for second cycle, what we need to do is, now in second cycle what we need to do is, we need to add this value to this value. So first let's add this, because both are negative, so it is simply added. So 5.62, and this is also negative, so same sign is added, 2.96. now guys, if it were beam, then we need to add these two value only, but it is on survey portal frame, so we need to take this displacement factor also, and this is positive, so plus 1.52. this is a difference about which I was discussing from the beginning of this video. Now adding this, we get the value minus 7.06. now after getting this value, what we need to do is, we have to multiply this value with the rotation factors. So if we multiply this by 1 by 6, we get 1.176. so we can write it as 1.18, doing round off. And guys, these three value we're taking negative, so minus and minus sign will get positive, so it is positive 1.18. and guys, this 1 by 3 is twice of 1 by 6. Let me show you how this is possible. If I multiply 1 by 3 by 2 by 2, then we will have here 2 by 6, means 1 by 6 times 2. Do not get confused. If the factor were here, 1 by 3 is actually the twice of 1 by 6. 1 by 6 is multiplied by 2, then we get 1 by 3. If here it were other factor, then what we need to do is, we have to again do the same thing, adding these three values and then multiplying with the factor. But here it is in twice form, so just to shorten the length of the video and to help, and here it is going to help us in calculation, so I am just finding the twice of this value. So multiply this by 2, we will get 2.35. so write it here, positive 2.35, because on adding these three value we are having negative sign, adding this value and this value, we are having negative sign, so minus, when multiplied with minus, will take positive sign, and the value will be 2.35. now after doing this, what we need to do is, we have to add this value, and again this value, this all we need to take displacement factor also. So 1.18 positive plus 16.87 plus 1.52. now adding these three value, multiply this with factor, means times 1 by 6, what we get, 3.26, and these three are a positive, so multiplying this with negative factor, it will get negative sign, 3.26. now again 1 by 3 is twice of 1 by 6, so multiply this value by 2, we get 6.6. 6.52. So this will be minus 6.52. Now our second cycle is going on. So now what we need to do is we need to add these two values. So add 1.18 minus 3.26. We get negative 2.08. Now multiply this value with the factor, which is minus 3 by 4 to get the displacement value, and multiplying this by 3 by 4, it is 1.56, and the factor had negative sign also, so it will be positive 1.56. Again here factor is same, so 1.56. Now this was our second cycle. Now time to move for the third cycle, and in third cycle again what we need to do is we have to add this value, and this value, second of displacement value also, but this time 1.56 for third cycle. So I write it down here, minus 5.62 minus 3.26 plus 1.56. Now adding these three value, we have got 7.32, which is negative. Multiply this with factor 1 by 6. We get 1.22. So add it here, positive 1.22. Now 1 by 3 is twice of 1 by 6. So multiply this by 2. We get 2.44. So positive 2.44. Now guys, add this value, and this value. So adding these three, we get 19.65. Multiply this with the factor 1 by 6. We get 3.27 minus 3.27. Now guys, we have got minus 3.27. Again multiply this by 2. We get 6.55 minus 6.55. Now add this value and this value and get the displacement value by multiplying with the factor. So 1.22 minus 3.27 multiply by 3 by 4. We get 1.54. So write it here, 1.54, positive 1.54. Now we need to stop this step when the value starts coming closer to this value, this value. Let me show you, then it will be more clear. Now time for fourth cycle. For fourth cycle what we need to do is we have to add this value, and this value 1.54. so add it here, 1.54 minus 5.62 minus 3.27. now we have added these three value, we have got 7.35. now multiply this with factor times 1 by 6. We have got 1.225. so let us write it at 1.22, positive 1.22. now we have got 1.22. you can write it as 1.23 also, it will no matter, because there is not much difference. There is between 1.22 and 1.23 there is difference of 0.01, so it won't create any differences, and we have to proceed it up to that point when the difference between the preceding and the succeeding value is very less, 0.01, 0.02, like in this manner. So guys, again if we add this value, sorry, minus 5.62 minus 3.27 plus 1.54, we have got 7.35. now multiply this with the factor 1 by 3. we have got 2.45. so it is again positive 2.45, because negative, when multiplied with negative factor gets positive sign, so 2.45. now add this value, and this value. so 1.22 plus 16.87 plus 1.54. now after adding these three value, multiply this with the factor times 1 by 6. we have got 3.27 negative 3.27 multiply by 2. we get 6.54 minus 6.54. 1.54. Now time to write down the displacement value, which is 1.22 minus 3.27. Multiply this with the factor 3 by 4. We have got 1.54 positive 1.54 positive 1.54. It is up to you. Here 5, this is 7 which is greater than 5, so I have done round off here, so it will be 1.54 positive. Now this was our step 5. I hope you understood this step. If you have any kind of confusion, then you can let me know in the comment section, because step 5 was very important. Now let's move toward step 6. So guys, here is step 6, and in step 6 I have already written the fixed in moment which was due to the loading. Now we need to write down the value which we have calculated using the distribution factor to find the final moment. And here what we need to do is, there is a formula for finding the final moment. Here we have fixed in moment, so what we need to do is we have to add this near moment twice. So positive 1.22 positive 1.22, and this value means the moment of the farther end once, so minus 3.27. We will solving and adding these four items, we will get the final moment of span BC at point B. Similarly, this is the fixed moment due to the loading. Now add this value of the nearer moment at twice, so minus 3.27 minus 3.27, and add the moment of the farther end once, and the moment of the farther end is 1.22, is in span BC 1.22, so positive 1.22. Add these four items, we will get the final value of the fixed in moment at C for span BC. Now the fixed in moment at point C in span CD is 0, and the fixed in moment at point D in span CD is 0, and we have calculated the distribution moment by using the distribution factor as 1.54. So, and the distribution factor for span CD at C is minus 6.54. So this moment at the near end will be minus 6.54, which we need to take twice. So minus 6.54 minus 6.54, and the moment at the farther end once, so 1.54 positive 1.54. Add this value. Now here the moment due to the fixed moment is 0, and the moment due from the due to the farther end is minus 6.54, and the moment due to the near end is 1.54. Here at the support, what we need to do is, in previously here we were taking twice, but here what we need to do is we have to take once only. That is the difference. So take it as once, positive 1.54 moment at the near end. Again, moment at the farther end will also be taken as 1, so minus 6.54. Add this value, we will get the final answer here. Fixed moment is 0. Now moment at the nearer end is 1.54, so it is again taken as 1.54 once only, and the moment at the farther end means BA span, and the BA span is 2.45, so positive 2.45 once only. We will get the final answer as 3.99. This will be minus 5. Here it will be, I will just calculate it and then let you know. Here the fixed moment is 0, and the moment at the nearer end is 2.45, which will be taken as twice, so positive 2.45 positive 2.45, and the moment at the farther is 1.54, so positive 1.54. Now add these values. So guys, on adding these we will get the final answer, and always remember that the value of the span BC and CB will be similar. These two values are equal, but it will be opposite in magnitude. So here also you can see it means our numerical is correct. And you can add one more step in step 7, like this. I am showing you it in rough, or you can separately draw a frame as step 7. And in step 7 you can represent the final moment at A, B, C, D, -5, -11.54, positive 11.54, -6.45, plus 6.454. Or you can leave it up to here also, it won't create any difficulty. And I hope you enjoyed the today's lecture, and see you in the next video. Do like and share this video. Till then, take care and stay safe.